Yo, all right. So how y'all doing? Hope y'all doing well. Um, I don't really know how to start these videos. Like, it's very complicated. But all I know is that I want to talk a couple things today. Uh, I just finished going to a bar. I got out of work. I was feeling super tired as fuck. Like, I need to get out of this headspace because, like, whenever you're out of work after a long week, it's like a headspace that you just like want to get out of. You're like, yeah, what I mean, it's just very intense. So I went to the a bar. I had a drink, and while I was there, I was just kind of looking at everybody, like seeing what everybody's doing, what everybody's into, and I decided, hey, like, um, this is a great place to be. um, but overall, I was just thinking, I'm always thinking, and when it's a place like that, it's just a great place to kind of like, I want to say, reflect and just think about the day. It's not something I do all the time, but it's definitely something that I'll do maybe on a Friday if I have nothing to do. Today my friends kind of like had a lot to do. It's one of those rare occasions or weekends where you just really have no plans, even if you wanted to or whatever. Um, and I just chose to um, stay inside and do me, right? There's always things I'm working on, and there's always things I'm very busy on. So even when there's plans, a lot of times, won't do it because there's things to do. And while I was in the bar, I was just thinking, like I said, I was thinking about what I could do, to help with my process. Should I maybe freestyle right now after this? Should I maybe try to record music or play the guitar? Should I maybe listen back to my freestyles and see if that's something that's cool or if I can find an interesting sound there? I was just, thinking about it the whole time, thinking what I could do, and that's kind of like the thing about me, and I'm pretty sure for a lot of other people too. It's like always thinking about something you could do, right? Instead of like going and maybe watching a movie or something, I'm very like, I can't, I just have to be doing something, and whatever I'm doing, I feel like it has to be helping, my purpose, whatever I set out to do. So I was there, right? I um I was there thinking nothing crazy, right? I wasn't like fucking scratching the fucking nail board. I was just normal, just thinking about what we could do, and I said, hey, I'm gonna make like a little blog entry, see how that goes. And while I was there, I was seeing so many people, like women like talking to their friends. I was seeing guys like dancing like kind of by themselves, trying to like low key pick up a girl that was next to him. I saw a few girls take a few glances at me, and I was just like, oh, not today, bro. Today we're working. um, and I kept seeing like just different characters, and that's always inspiring. Always inspiring just to see different people and doing whatever they do, like something completely different from what I'm doing. So, um, you know, now I'm here. I drove from the bar, had one drink, nothing crazy. Uh, Drove around the city just like maybe a few minutes, nothing crazy at all. And windows down, blasting a little bit of music, um, sunroof, off. And I was just enjoying the moment, enjoying my city, doing what I can as a fucking free person. And it was just a great feeling, after a weekend, after a week, heavy week. It's just great to be able to do that stuff and just relax a little bit. And now I'm here. Came home, got a couple beers more, got some Bud Light in a Miller Lite container. Yeah. And blogging, you know. Always trying to do something. And why? Not because I don't know why, really. I just feel like I always do have to do. I can't really sit down and watch a movie. I can't really sit down. Let me know if you relate. I can't really sit down and watch a movie. It's hard for me to really sit down and watch a series. That's the toughest thing. It's easy for me to watch reels because I get hooked. Like the reel plays and it's like, whoa, it's so interesting. And then the next one, oh my gosh. But I noticed that I hate it. I completely hate it. It's not something I like. And like after 10 minutes of that, God forbid more, I'm just depressed and just a fucking like sad person, sad guy. Um, so that's just not good for me, you know. Um, and this Friday, I keep thinking like, how should I look at my weekend? What should I do? And there's so much to do, like have my normal job, so I'm always like, I kind of work in sales a bit, more like customer service. So I'm always like, and there's always things to do, like new methods to do things, new ways to help clients, new ways to find clients, stuff like that. So like that's always gonna be there. But during the weekend, I kind of like really like to enjoy myself and work on what I like to work on, and that comes into music. Um, and and that's one of the things I want to say. Like music is just so important to me, man. Music to me is like another language that everybody understands. Every single buddy in this world understands a couple drum beats and a hoo ha ha ha, a hoo 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 ha ha ha, ba bum bum bum. You know what I mean? Like everybody understands that kind of stuff. It's something that is goes far beyond cultures. It goes far beyond. I feel like I should turn up the brightness. Wrong button. Too bad. It goes far beyond any sort of language, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Japanese, whether you're in a lost like nation or like tribe. Like it's something that if you put the love in there, and if you really work on it and feel it, that's one of the most important things I feel is feel it. Then people will understand. It'll get through, and that's really why I have this channel. That's why I have everything I'm doing, because I believe in putting good vibrations out there, and that's all music is. It's good vibrations, and with good intent, right? A lot of my music, if you guys don't know, I do make music. A lot of my music, some people could say is a little like um, sad, or even say go as far as to say it's negative. But I don't see it that way, because in this world, with people with social media and people with Instagram and Facebook, it's so easy to paint a good picture. And that's what people do all the time. That's what I noticed maybe 2 3 years ago, that people always paint a good picture. And I did not want to do that. Whenever I saw my Instagram, I was like, dude, this is not you, right? I'm not saying I'm a complete like person with a horrible life, but those highlights, it's not just that, it's more. It's low moments, very low moments. It's moments where you feel like you're gonna about to give up, and that's what I really wanted to portray in my music, and in my lifestyle and what I show people, because it's not just that, right? So that to me is like probably one of the reasons I started this. Besides the fact that I love it, I just love music. I'm obsessed about it. That's one of the reasons I did. I went so far as to delete my Instagram that I had 2 3 years ago from high school and from like college, and I have a bunch of friends and stuff there. I just deleted it because, um, man, it's that wasn't true. That wasn't true. It's not true for me. It's not true for anyone else. That's not how life is. And whenever you paint life that way, imagine other people seeing that and being like, hey, I'm not going on trips, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. It puts them down. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't care like what happens or with who, or if it's this or if it's that. I wanted to make sure that the stuff I put out was conscious and was real. That was my biggest priority. And that's why music is so important to me, because music, like I said, if you're in Africa, if you're in Europe, if you're in Ireland, if you're in Mexico, if you're in the United States, everybody understands music. Everybody understands. If you put the love in there, if you put the hate, if you put the anger, they'll understand what you're saying. And that's what I like so much about music. It's not fake. And if it's fake, people will know, and it's probably not that great. Maybe it is. God, maybe it is, right? And it's just like a big deal to me. It's a huge deal. So now it's a Friday. I think it's like, let me read the time, 9:24. I should be going to sleep soon because I have a big day tomorrow, and I will. But before that, I'll probably just listen to some records, listen back to my freestyle, see if there's anything I could find, and just kind of just relax, eat a meal, and go to sleep. It's nothing crazy. Um, and maybe write down some goals for tomorrow for this week. Now I'm a little motivated, and try to do them right. Try to set out to do all that. Just get it done. If you guys like feel how I feel, let me know. Um, and I just want to make sure, and I know there's more people that must feel this way. And I just want to make sure that we can all get together and cooperate, right? If y'all like this stuff, just subscribe. I make music, so check that out. I hope y'all are having a good Friday. I'm gonna keep trying to do maybe more of this stuff if it's something that works out. At the end of the day, getting the message across is the most important thing. And if this works, well, it works, and I'll keep doing it. But if it doesn't, well, it is what it is. I'll just leave it there. Um, you all have a good weekend, and take care. Bye.